Hi guys, and welcome back to another installment of Allan the Author. Today we're going to talk a little bit about characters. But before I get too far into that, I want to talk about a little something that happened to me this morning. I got up at 6:30 this morning, put on some laundry, went into my email, and found a notice that supposedly one of my accounts was overdrawn today. Now, I had not used this account for over a month, so I went and looked in. Sure enough, I'd been hacked. The card was still with me. It's not like I dropped it someplace, but somebody had gotten into the system. I checked my other accounts too. They're all fine. It was just this one. But it got hacked, and I know it got hacked because besides me not using it for over a month, it was used in another state I've never been to, so that pretty much clinched it. So I spent part of the morning getting the claim and notifying the card people and whatnot, and they've got everything underway there to investigate. Luckily that particular account did not have a lot of money in it. It was a little under 100, but still, it was very irksome, really upsetting, and this is where I'm going to start making the connection between what happened to me and characters. Emotionally, this was really draining and upsetting. I was tense, heart pounding, the frustration, the rage, how my body was tensing up and whatnot. All of these things, I made mental notes of them, and I'm going to jot them down. I don't plan on using this right away. Eventually down the road when I've cooled off and whatnot and I have a character I need to flesh out a bit. Because you see, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all those emotions, the thoughts that were going through my head, everything, and give a lot of that to a character in a story, a short story, a novel, whatever. Because that's how you flesh a character out sometimes. That's how you make a character seem more real. This is a problem I've heard many people tell me in the past. My character, they talk to me and they say their characters are too flat. I don't know how to make the character more well-rounded, seem more real, make them feel like a real person. Well, sometimes give them a little problem like what I had, or, I mean, this could have been a lot worse. But it wasn't. But all that I went through, that's something people can relate to. An everyday person reading your story can relate to that kind of thing and sympathize with your character. That character suddenly becomes more real to them. They become a person. And so sometimes you just kind of draw from life in order to bring some of your characters to life. And I've even used some experiences from my friends with their permission, because I've modified and changed the situation, but the things they went through and experienced and how they felt about it, I transferred those onto some characters as well sometimes. Because again, it makes the character somebody the audience can relate to. Now, you could easily start a story with my situation, exactly the way it happened, getting up, going into your email and finding all this is happening and then just being really, really bummed out by it. But then you can also add some other things that have been happening today. It seems like I'm a big cat fan, and it seems like just about every cat in the neighborhood today, whenever I come outside after I've been fuming and struggling with all of this, has wanted to come up and let me give them some pets. It's like they sense that, oh, he's having a bad day or something, so they come to me and they are letting me give them the love and they are giving me the purr and making me feel better. I'm going to use that in this character too. Because again, for the cat lovers and stuff, and people who know cats know there are cats that will do this. Again, it makes the character seem more real, more alive, and more like a person. Somebody you can relate to. Now in my case, when it comes to cats, I have a very big affinity for them. And I like to kid around with them. And kid around with my friends that, oh, Ulthar heard I was having a bad day and they're sending some cats to make me feel better because I have good credential, good street cred over in Ulthar. Now for those who don't know what Ulthar is, That is a place that the famous horror writer H.P. Lovecraft created in a story called The Cats of Ulthar. Ulthar is a unique place where no man is allowed to hurt or kill a cat. And so, if you're friends with cats, supposedly if you're nice to cats and stuff, you'll get a reputation in Ulthar, is the way my wife and I joke about it. So when all these cats are coming out of the woodwork and coming to see me and stuff on a day when I'm having, it just felt like, yeah, Ulthar heard about it and they sent some extra help to me. And again, guess what? I'm going to use something like this in a story down the road. One of my characters jokes about it. I like giving some of my experiences to characters. It makes them more real. It makes them seem more alive. And it's kind of fun. Even in real life, when I'm not writing about it and stuff, I also joke when I meet a new cat who seems not too sure about whether or not they want to be friends with me. I tell them, hey, check my credentials in Ulthar. You'll find out I've got a good rep there. Oddly enough, a day or two later, the cat comes up to me. Go figure, maybe there really is an Ulthar. You never know. But anyway, this is the start of getting back to the main subject, characters. This is something I want you all to start thinking about. Think about personal experiences, how you felt, whether it was a good time, a bad time, or if maybe you were sick or something. How did you feel? What were your thoughts since that time? What was your body reactions? How are people reacting around you? Think about that and maybe start jotting some of those down. Jot them down and keep them in a file folder on your computer and stuff, and refer back to them when you're trying to write and you're trying to flesh a character out or something. That maybe you can draw from some of these experiences and give them to the character. Because one thing that will turn a reader off real fast is if your character is not somebody they can relate to or even like or whatnot. I mean, of course, you're going to have bad guy characters that people are going to boo and hiss and whatnot, but at least make them somewhat understandable. Even if the reader doesn't agree with the character's reasoning for being a bad person, it makes them more real and makes them more interesting. That's all I've got right now. Thanks for tuning in. Please leave your comments below as always and let me know if any of this is helping you. And one final thing is I'm going to give you a little exercise to do at home and just to practice with your own writing. Who knows, it might turn into a short story or turn into a novel or help you build a character. Take a particular instance in your life, an experience, whether it was recent, whatnot, like I was saying a little while ago, start jotting down the notes about it. Start how you felt, what was going on around you and stuff. And then start, after you got those details down, start tweaking it. Try and create a character right there and then, using some of that stuff. And then add on to it, create some new stuff as well, and see how far you get with that character and how much you bring them to life, and then show that character, what you did, to some of your friends that you trust and get their reactions. This way you'll know it's a good exercise, and it might also start, who knows, it might blossom into an entire storyline and an incredible idea that you are going to want to run with. So that's all for now. Take care. Thanks for viewing, thanks for watching, and keep writing.